Welcome to Group 2's presentation on Elon Musk as a leader. During this presentation, we'll be covering a number of topics. So we will start with what is a leader, and then we will discuss why we chose Elon Musk as our leader for this PowerPoint presentation. We will also be highlighting his contribution and impact on the world, along with his life story, and then we'll go over some gaps in his leadership style and capabilities. And then what can we learn from him? This is a really important consideration to make. And then we'll conclude with some main takeaways from this PowerPoint. So what is a leader? We decided that a leader is someone who is very goal-oriented. They care about others, especially their team. They are problem solvers. They are empathetic, where they can sense the other person's emotions and really resonate with the individual's needs. They are a great decision maker, a role model for others, and they're an independent thinker. Okay, so some of Elon Musk's leadership qualities. He is extremely goal-driven. He has long and short-term goals within all of his companies and his personal life. He envisions the future and then therefore creates it through his visions. He shares his goals with his team to motivate them and inspire them on a daily basis so they know what they're working towards. I think this is an excellent way to keep your team engaged and motivated to work towards a common goal. He says in this quote right here, "People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working." I completely agree with this because it is much easier to come to work when you know what you're contributing to and you feel like you're making a difference. With this, he's very results driven, so he wants results, he wants a payoff, he wants good performance and success. So at the end of the day, that's why he makes the goals, is so he can provide results and become better. So another reason why we chose him is because he is a problem solver and a very independent thinker. Through this, whenever he encounters a problem, he considers the universal truths behind it. He wants to look at problems from a different angle that people maybe haven't thought of in the past. To do this, he asks why until the problem reveals itself. So he will look past the surface elements to the root cause and decide, how can we remedy this? And that's why he's such an independent thinker. He does not want to recreate the mistakes that people have made in the past. He wants to approach everything with a new mindset and new ideas that have never been considered before. So more of Elon Musk's leadership qualities are that he's a role model. He never stops learning. He has been obsessed with learning since he was a young kid, and every day he says that he tries to learn something new, and he does learn something new. He said you don't make a outer space rocket ship company through learning nothing. So he's all about learning and pushing for the best. He wants to get those results of success, and he's going to put the right people in the right place through delegation to get there. And that's very important as a leader. Delegating and being that role model that your employees can look up to be successful, and that other people can look up to, like us. We want to be successful and get results. So learning that from someone like Elon is super helpful. He also is a transformational leader, which means he inspires others to make a difference, and he wants to make a difference in the world. He looks past the day-to-day, and he wants to create an overall better place. He says he does not mind a disruption unless it makes the world better, which is very profound, and only transformational leaders are the ones that can do that because they are extremely visionary. They develop other followers into more leaders to propel on and keep changing what they're trying to change. So through inspiring others and being above and beyond in performance and getting those results through making goals, delegation, inspiring, being out of the box thinker and being a role model and never stopping learning, he can do that. And to be a transformational leader is amazing. Now, Hallie, you're up next.
Thank you, Amber. My name is Haley Vandy, and I want to take a moment to discuss Elon Musk's contribution and the difference he's making in his industry and the world. Elon Musk likes to lead by example and find innovative solutions to everyday problems. I would argue that his innovation and his leadership is his largest contribution to society and has certainly driven his ability to make a difference. Elon Musk's claim to fame is his upbringing of the Tesla vehicles, electric self-driving cars. He's taken the lead in a company whose focus is on finding ways to use renewable energy to accomplish one of the most universally common tasks people around the world partake in, transportation. By doing this, he hopes to reduce the number of non-renewable resource-run vehicles on the road. According to Tesla's 2020 impact report, Tesla users saved 5 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions from being released into the air in 2020. To align with this motive, Musk also partook in the development of the Hyperloop, and although it has been controversial and has had setbacks, there's merit in the innovation, and there is continuous work being done to advance the project to new levels. The Hyperloop would be a speed train that would work in a tunnel at speeds that have not been seen in ground transportation yet. It could cover 350 miles in about 30 minutes. Another project Musk undertook to reduce non-renewable resources being used was developing the Tesla solar roof. He has reimagined the solar panel opportunities. He's created a solar panel that, rather than being placed on the roof, actually instead becomes the roof. This is a competitively priced, durable solar panel option for homeowners to save energy. Musk has also created and grown the presence of SpaceX. He's hoping to make commercial space travel available to the public. He's done many launches with passengers who are not professional astronauts. He hopes to make the human race multiplanetary. Much of Elon Musk's business ventures are based around environmental concerns and the way we're treating our planet. With SpaceX, he's creating a vision that can help us be less dependent on Earth. SpaceX has also provided a unique way to improve cellular service with satellites placed in Earth's orbit. He's also gotten a lot of attention recently for his purchase of Twitter. He's making changes to the platform, some of which have caused tension. Others, however, have involved the potential of influencers on the platform being able to generate income. Elon Musk's contribution and the difference he's making can be looked at in many ways, given he's a leader who's involved in many different industries. However, I think the most notable and the one proven most by his business moves is this sustainability and environmental-driven contributions. As I stated earlier, his innovative ways of inventing, leading, and involvement in the differing industries is what allows Elon Musk to be a huge difference maker in today's society. Now I'm going to pass it on to Coleman, who will discuss the life story of Elon Musk.
Thank you, Hallie. So, Elon Musk's life story, he was born June 28th in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. He comes from a family with two other siblings, Kimball Musk and Tosca Musk. His parents actually divorced in 1979, so around when he was about 9 years old. Growing up, Musk was kind of a standoffish type kid, right? He was actually bullied in school growing up, and actually one of his bullying incidents actually ended up him going into the hospital due to it. So once he graduated from high school, he did move actually to Canada, and there he studied at Queen's University, which is in Kingston, Ontario, and then he would actually transfer over to the University of Pennsylvania. While at the University of Pennsylvania, he would study physics and economics, and he would actually end up graduating from the University of Pennsylvania with those degrees. So when talking about Elon Musk's life story when it comes to leadership, we're going to focus mostly on the companies that he's been in charge of or has somewhat been involved in, right? So in 1995, Elon founded Zip2. Zip2 was basically his first company that he actually started. Zip2 is a company that provided and licensed online city guides softwares to newspapers in big cities. So basically newspapers like Chicago Tribune or New York Times. And then Compaq would ended up buying Zip2 for 341 million, and it would earn Elon 22 million because he wasn't obviously the only investor. He just kind of helped found it with his brother. With that 22 million, he would actually go on to launch X.com. So he didn't actually use all 22 million. He only used about 10 million of that 22 to found that company. This would eventually merge with Confinity, and that was founded by Peter Thiel, and that would eventually come out to be PayPal. So Elon had majority of CEO, he had majority of stock shares, right? He did have a little bit of a viewpoint difference with some of the other initial investors, so he actually was fired as the CEO. That was in late 2000, and then PayPal eventually would be sold for 1.5 billion in 2002 to eBay, right? Since Elon was majority stock shareholder, it would actually net him 165 million. So now that Elon wasn't really involved in any company at this time, he decided he would found SpaceX. SpaceX's goal initially was to make spaceflight cheaper for a lot of people and just companies and NASA and things in general. So the first big project that he actually had with SpaceX was a vehicle named Puff the Magic Dragon, and the reason he named it that was just to kind of do a subtle dig at people that didn't believe in him and that he would be successful with SpaceX. Alongside of that, in 2004, he would eventually invest in Tesla Motors. So Tesla Motors is an electric car company that was actually founded by Martin Eberhard, not Elon Musk. A lot of people don't realize that, but Musk would invest heavily in it and then eventually become the CEO and primary owner. Alongside of it, SpaceX and Tesla Motors were hit hard a lot in 2008, like many companies were. They were actually both losing money, and SpaceX was not having success with their rockets. This would eventually all kind of sort itself out with SpaceX getting a $1.5 billion NASA contract, and Tesla would find a lot more outsider investments. This would lead SpaceX to have 24 successful launches by 2015, and then actually having successful landing of a reusable orbital rocket. And then Tesla would continue to grow their car brands, and then they would actually announce their first pickup truck in 2019. So now that Elon Musk was having a proven success story with his two companies in SpaceX and Tesla, and people were starting to realize that, he was starting to gain more traction within the business world. And in 2016, he would start the Boring Company. So what the Boring Company is, it was actually the main goal of it was to dig a network of tunnels under and around cities for high speed and no traffic driving. The first one location was actually opened in 2021 in Las Vegas. So alongside of that, while running Tesla and SpaceX, he would also form Neuralink. Neuralink is a company that uses to build devices that can be implanted inside the human brain. At this time, there isn't much physical copies of products from that company, but there's still a lot of funding that goes into it, and he still leads a very devout team towards it. And then in 2022, I'm sure we've all heard about it, Elon Musk would buy Twitter for $44 billion, right? And then while in charge of that and leading it, he would actually make a lot of changes towards Twitter. He would charge for the blue check mark. He laid off a lot of their employees, all the way up to 50% of their employees. And then all in all, while Musk is living this life, he's in charge of 5 different companies, and that just shows that he does have a great leadership qualities. But there are ways that he can improve, and that's where I'm going to pass it to Paul. He's going to talk about ways that Elon can improve.
Thanks, Coleman. Paul Needham here, now to discuss the major gap that I see in how Elon Musk leads. First, this man has many admirable leadership qualities, some of which we have already pointed out. But all of us have our shortcomings when it comes to how we lead. If anything, leadership tends to shine a spotlight on the weaknesses that we have. This has been true for all great leaders, and Elon Musk is no different. One of the criteria for leadership we came up with as a group was that we want our leaders to care about people. And this is where I saw some weakness with Elon Musk as a leader. So the primary gap I see in his leadership was highlighted beautifully and fortunately in this week's article on the Focus Leader by Daniel Goleman. And the gap in Elon's leadership relates to what Goleman calls empathic concern. Empathic concern is helpful to have as a leader because it not only gives a leader a sense of how people feel, but also of what people need from you, especially in a professional sense. So people might need a sense of clarity about the mission of the organization. They might need a sense of certainty about their future as employees, things like that. But let's look at the purchase of Twitter by Elon Musk. First, most of the company's revenue comes from sales advertising, about 90%. And as one of the wealthiest men in the world, Elon Musk purchased the company for $44 billion. He then took the company private and vowed to build a respected advertising platform. Yet, almost immediately after the purchase, Musk treated Twitter employees like he did the employees of his first startup company, Zip2, in the 90s. In 1996, Musk was described as perpetually sleep-deprived and openly berating other executives and colleagues. To his biographer, Musk revealed that he had never been a sports captain, or a captain of anything, or managed a single person. So, with this authoritarian streak, just after taking over Twitter, Musk told his employees to work extremely hardcore, or they would be fired. As a result, over half the company's employees, over 7,500, left Twitter or got laid off. Advertisers became spooked by more ads for marijuana and also less oversight of hate speech and pornography on Twitter. And Twitter's revenue dropped 59% in the first part of 2023 compared to 2022. Empathic concern then requires us to manage our personal distress without numbing ourselves to the pain of others. Clearly, empathic concern is a shortcoming for Elon Musk. It seems that the professional lives and concerns of his employees at Twitter were not high on his list of priorities. Yet, as a person who has been diagnosed with Asperger's, which is on the spectrum of autism, this may reveal why Musk showed almost no empathy toward his employees. Though autism may explain his behavior, it certainly does not excuse that kind of behavior.
Thank you, Paul, for that wonderful information regarding how Elon Musk can improve his leadership. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you are in the world. My name is Andrew Harrell, and I will be spending the next few minutes highlighting what we can learn from Elon Musk. Let's first think about Elon's approach. His approach is not about money. It's about solving problems. You can see this in his innovative thinking to solve problems with his previous businesses such as PayPal, his current businesses such as Tesla and SpaceX, and his future business endeavors in the quest to electrify boats and yachts. His second approach is about creating demand and envy for those that utilize his products. This highlights the message that is sent about to the owner or user and how it increases the quality of life for the owner, such as EVs, and what it says about the brand and those who use it. His third approach is to optimize being ruthless. As this creates interest and envy, this can be seen in his approach with Twitter when firing 80% of the employees after the takeover, and can also be seen in his approach when demanding actions for employees from Tesla. Some of this can be considered extreme and over the top for some, but it does create interest in others for both peers in the business environment and for consumers. His fourth approach is to allocate time and tasks, minimize the inefficiencies by multitasking from switching back and forth between tasks, and to fully focus on one task or business for that period of time and nothing else. An example of this is that on Mondays he may work from Tesla, on Tuesdays he may work from Twitter, on Wednesdays he may work from SpaceX, and those that are in the organizations know that he will be unavailable for that day if it is not that scheduled day for the business unit. His fifth approach is to go big or go home. Take risks, minimize losses, and make a splash in whatever you do. Some view this as risky behavior. Some view this as being innovative. Heck, at this point, we expect this out of Elon. We almost expect to see a big explosion every time he sends a rocket into space, and we expect to see billions of dollars falling from the sky when he does it. I've never been able to figure out why NASA isn't helping him out more if they already have tools to put people in space, but they don't. Why don't they help the poor guy out? Or every time a rocket makes a splash, does it make you want to buy a Tesla? Who knows? Whatever you rank the risk, the behavior does get publicity, a lot of publicity. As far as his business sense, Elon suggests having companies that are convertible, such as Tesla. Is it a car company? I don't know. Is it a tech company? I don't know. Or is it a company that simply plots all the streets in the US on a map? Who knows? But Tesla is flexible and nimble to adjust should demand on a particular service become obsolete. He also suggests to go against the grain. Most wealthy people have none or only one kid. Elon has 10 and counting. Mark Cuban once tweeted to Elon and asked him, dude, how many kids are you going to have? Elon replied in a tweet, Mars needs people. Elon also once said he wants to die on Mars, just not on impact. That says a lot about his mindset and his business sense. In Elon's book, he asks what daily routine helps you the most. His answer is showering. This is his developmental space and place to clear his mind. This can be enjoyable and provide a space for reflection, thoughtfulness, and mindfulness. Whatever your tool is to find peace, find it and use it. It will keep you sane in this insane business world. He also indicated that reading is the best thing ever. This can be applied and give a person knowledge and experiences. Just like this MBA 533 class, this class was very heavy on reading and learning on the lessons of leadership, which was very, very helpful. And finally, he indicated have a clear vision. The vision should not be about money. It should be about improving life for humans, to which then the money will follow. This is contradictory to his previous AI efforts, as artificial intelligence can be very counterproductive to improving the life of humans. But regardless of your intention, have a clear business vision for your endeavors. However you react to the skills and approaches of Elon, there's something to be learned from him. We can learn from his recklessness. We can learn from his ethics. We can learn from his over-the-top approach. We can learn from his ruthfulness. Whether you agree with his approach and you emulate it, or whether you despise his efforts, you learn from his success and his mistakes, and hopefully it will motivate you to make better business decisions. Thank you.
There is no denying that Elon Musk is a leader from our time. However, as discussed here, there may be some controversy on whether or not people view him as a good leader. We were able to give you reasons as to why Elon Musk fits the standards we have for leaders, but also call out the gaps in his leadership. We talked about how he became the leader he is today and what he's doing with this power. We hope that we were able to accurately portray the leader that Elon Musk is, and are curious to hear about how others view his leadership. Thank you for watching.